Imagine narcissists swaggering through life like untouchable gods, their egos so massive they could eclipse the sun, until they crash into their ultimate kryptonite. Wrong. Welcome to the narcissist's worst nightmare, the super empath's counterattack, where the tables turn and those smug, untouchable tyrants get a taste of their own medicine. This is the story of the super empath, silent warriors with hearts of steel and souls so fierce they make narcissists quake in their polished boots. These aren't your average pushovers. They're the ones who flip the script and rewrite the rules. Narcissists thrive on control, feeding off every tear, every doubt they plant in your mind. They think they can toy with anyone until they meet a super empath. That's when the game changes. These empaths don't just feel your pain, they weaponize their intuition, turning it into a radar that spots every lie, every fake tear, every manipulative trick from a mile away. In the video today, you're in for a wild ride. We'll dive into the drama, the dark days of being crushed under a narcissist's heel, the moment the super empath says enough is enough, and the epic counterattack that leaves the enemy scrambling for cover. This isn't just about surviving their chaos, it's about delivering a knockout punch so hard they'll never dare cross you again. It's justice served hot, revenge dished out cold, and power reclaimed in the most badass way possible. So buckle up, turn the volume to 11, and get ready to cheer. This isn't just a story, it's a battle cry for every underdog ready to rise. Let's roll! So you're strapped in for this epic clash between narcissists and super empaths. But before we dive into the counterattack that flips the narcissist's smug little world upside down, let's take a moment to peel back the layers of these silent warriors. They're not just opponents, they're the living nightmares that keep narcissists tossing and turning at night. So who are super empaths and what makes them an unstoppable secret weapon? Super empaths aren't the fragile, weepy souls you might picture. They're spirits forged in the furnace of suffering, with hearts of unbreakable steel and intuition sharp as a razor's edge. Imagine someone who feels every beat of your pain as if it's tearing through their own chest, but instead of buckling under that weight, they rise, eyes blazing, and turn that agony into an unquenchable fire. They're not victims for narcissists to trample, they're swords concealed in soft velvet, quiet yet poised to slash through manipulation with one icy stare. What sets them apart from your everyday empath? A regular empath might sit with you, listen, and shed tears alongside you, but super empaths go deeper. They don't just feel, they dissect, analyzing every word, every glance from a narcissist to spot the cracks in their facade. Their intuition isn't some vague gut feeling, it's a full-on superpower, a hypersensitive radar that picks up lies, fake tears, and manipulative ploys from miles away. Narcissists might charm the world with their perfect smiles and honeyed words, but to a super empath it all crumbles before the first line is delivered. They see through the mask, straight into the hollow core, and that alone sends narcissists into a tailspin. I once faced a narcissist who bragged about valuing honesty while sneaking texts to someone else behind my back. He thought I'd buy his act, but my super empath intuition sounded off like a fire alarm. I didn't cry or beg, I just gave a faint smile and thought, nice performance, but I'm not your audience. That was the moment I realized I wasn't just hurt, I was the one who'd make him face the music. That intuition doesn't just spot the enemy, it's a compass guiding them through the fog of manipulation, leading them to the edge of rebellion. Their strength isn't just in seeing through lies, it's in their iron will to act. When narcissists hurl venomous words or spin intricate mind games to shatter their spirit, super empaths don't shrink or tremble. They stand firm, eyes steady, voice calm but laced with undeniable power. They might say, "You think I don't see through this?" And that alone makes the narcissist flinch, wondering why their prey isn't breaking as planned. That resilience, that unyielding defiance turns them into a secret weapon, not loud like a gunshot, not flashy like a wildfire, but precise and deadly like a blade in the dark. But this power isn't innate, it's earned. Super empaths are shaped by deep scars, betrayals, exploitation, and heartbreak from the very people they once loved and trusted. Every lie from a narcissist, every blow to their self-worth, isn't their end. It's the flame that tempers them into invincible warriors. They learn to rise from the wreckage of a shattered heart, piecing themselves back together into something stronger. And when they stand, they don't just carry personal strength, they wield a blazing torch of justice, ready to incinerate anyone who dares underestimate them. They don't seek petty revenge, they seek liberation, and in doing so, they become icons of defiance. So what happens when this secret weapon steps onto the battlefield? Buckle up, because next we're diving into the eye of the storm, where narcissists, those self-crowned kings who thought they were untouchable, start staggering under the super empath's counterattack. This isn't a quiet escape, it's an all-out war where the enemy's mask gets ripped off, and they're shoved into the shadows of a truth they can't escape. The drama's about to explode, and you won't be able to look away. We've just uncovered how super empaths are forged into secret weapons, powerful, razor-sharp, and ready to take a stand. But now, a bigger question looms. Why are narcissists, those self-obsessed rulers of their own universes, so fixated on hunting them down? What makes super empaths the ultimate prey in the eyes of these ego-inflated predators? Let's dive deep into the toxic mind of a narcissist to find out. To a narcissist, super empaths aren't just another passerby. They're the grand prize, the golden trophy in their twisted collection of control. Why? Because super empaths are the perfect storm of sensitivity and strength, a rich well of energy that narcissists crave to fuel their hollow egos. They're empathetic enough to sense and meet every emotional whim of the narcissist, yet resilient enough to not collapse under the weight of mind games. That mix makes them the ultimate challenge. A tough prey that, if conquered, strokes the narcissist's ego into believing they're invincible. Narcissists live for domination, it's their lifeblood. They need someone to manipulate, to break, to mold into a mirror reflecting their fake greatness. And super empaths, with their big hearts and extraordinary endurance, are the ideal targets. They can withstand verbal lashings, gaslighting, and sudden outbursts without bolting at the first sign of trouble. Narcissists see that and think, here's someone I can push to the edge, then reel back in to prove my power. But what they don't realize is that this patience is a trap, a snare that super empaths will eventually use to turn the tables. I was once targeted by a narcissist who knew I wouldn't walk away after his first screaming fit. He thought I was an easy meal, patient, forgiving, always trying to fix things. But he didn't see that with every push I was quietly taking notes, analyzing and gearing up for the day I'd exit his stage show. To narcissists, super empaths are grade A supply, but if they pull it off, the thrill of victory is 10 times sweeter. Here's the kicker though, narcissists don't just hunt super empaths to feed their egos, they want to destroy what they can't possess. The inner strength of a super empath, that quiet confidence, unconditional kindness, and unbreakable will, is everything narcissists lack and secretly envy. They can't stand the idea that someone could be both compassionate and tougher than them. So their goal isn't just control, it's to shatter that confidence, crush that will, and prove no one's allowed to outshine them. The irony? The harder they try to break a super empath, the deeper they dig their own grave. They don't see that every blow they land only makes the super empath stronger, sharper. I remember how my narcissist mocked my kindness, calling me naive for believing in him. But that naivety let me see right through him. And when I walked away, he realized he'd lost all control. Super empaths are a narcissist's nightmare not just because they're hard to subdue, they reflect the weakness narcissists refuse to face. They hunt super empaths because they need that challenge to validate themselves, but also because they're terrified of the power super empaths hold. It's the narcissist's paradox. They're drawn to the light of a super empath, yet desperate to snuff it out so they're not overshadowed. And that contradiction sets the stage for what's next, where super empaths don't just survive the narcissist's game, but strike back with a force that brings the enemy to their knees. Get ready, because the drama's about to hit its peak. a narcissist will soon learn that hunting a super empath was the biggest mistake they ever made. We've just uncovered why narcissists are obsessed with hunting super empaths, like moths drawn to a flame they can't control. But now the real show ignites. When super empaths are cornered, they don't cower or plead. They unleash a counterattack with the force of a hurricane, where razor-sharp intuition and blazing justice collide in a fury nothing can stop. This isn't a feeble wave goodbye, it's a fight to the death, where narcissists get crushed by the monster they've unleashed. A super empath's intuition isn't just a sense, it's the trigger of a psychological nuke. Imagine a state-of-the-art alarm system screaming bloody murder when a narcissist spins a lie or fakes a crocodile tear. They don't need receipts or witnesses. They feel the fakery in every breath the narcissist takes. When one tries to twist reality with, "I didn't do that," the super empath locks eyes, voice ice cold. "Don't even try. I've got you clocked." That's not just a comeback. It's a bullet ripping through the narcissist's perfect facade, exposing the ugly truth to the world. Take Maya, a super empath I knew. She faced off with a narcissist named Jake, who swore he'd change but never did. One day Jake smirked, "You're imagining things, I didn't say that." But Maya didn't flinch. She stared him down and recounted every word, every syllable like a prosecutor in a courtroom. Jake was stunned, jaw-dropping, because Maya's intuition turned her into his nightmare. Not a victim, but the hammer of judgment smashing his inflated ego to bits. But the counterattack doesn't end there. The raging justice inside a super empath is the kill shot that brings narcissists to their knees. They don't suffer in silence forever. When pushed past the brink, they erupt with a molten sense of rightness, ready to torch the fake kingdom narcissists built. They don't just leave, they burn the bridge behind them and roar, "You'll pay for everything." They strip the narcissist bare in front of everyone, not for revenge, but to resurrect the buried truth. And in that moment, narcissists realize their throne is gone. Maya's story exploded when Jake tried pinning the blame on her after a fiery argument. But this time, she didn't bite her tongue. She stood tall, voice like steel. "You think yelling drowns out your hypocrisy? I've had you figured out for ages." Then she walked away, severing all ties, no explanation, no crack for Jake to cling to. He freaked, texting and calling non-stop. But Maya vanished from his world like a ghost. For super empaths, justice isn't just exiting, it's forcing the narcissist to face the black hole they dug, with no one left to control, no one left to mask their weakness. The super empath's counterattack is when they snatch the crown from the narcissist's grasp. They don't need to scream or kick up a fuss. Their silence is the loudest thunder in the storm. When Maya left, she left Jake with a bitter truth. He wasn't a king, and he couldn't break a soul as radiant as hers. He tried trashing her online, but Maya didn't bite. She let the truth do the talking, and it worked. Friends ditched Jake as his real self came into focus. This is the battle's peak. Super empaths don't just fend off narcissists, they shred the delusions they thrive on. Every exposure is a slash, every step out of the chaos a crushing blow. And when narcissists see they've lost, they crumble in despair, not from noise, but from the haunting echo of a super empath's silence. So what happens when the smoke clears and the battlefield reveals itself? Brace yourself, because the next part will stop your heart, where narcissists topple like broken statues and super empaths stand tall amid the rubble, claiming victory with their very existence. We've just watched the super empath's counterattack ignite, torching the narcissist's mask with razor-sharp intuition and blazing justice. But this isn't the end. Now comes the final battle, where narcissists don't just get pushed back, they completely collapse under the super empath's unstoppable might. The smoke clears, the spotlight blazes, and the self-proclaimed invincible tyrant crashes down into the ashes of their own fake kingdom. When a super empath lands the killing blow, it's not a loud punch or a cheap drama scene. It's a silence so powerful, it's like thunder rolling before the sky splits open. They don't offer explanations or long goodbyes. They just leave, and their absence becomes the final dagger plunged into the narcissist's ego. Narcissists thrive on an audience, someone to manipulate, but when a super empath vanishes, they're left with a gaping void nothing can fill. Look at Maya, who I've told you about. After exposing Jake, she didn't give him a chance to talk his way out. She severed all ties like a cold wind snuffing out a dying flame. Jake freaked out, calling, texting, even begging through mutual friends. But Maya was gone from his world entirely. Her silence wasn't just rejection, it was a declaration. You don't own me anymore. And when Jake realized that, he started to unravel, not from screams, but from the emptiness she left behind. Narcissists can't handle this kind of loss. They're used to being the dumpers, the ones wielding the knife to end things on their terms. But when a super empath walks away first, they rip the crown off the narcissist's head and stomp it into the dirt. Maya did that to Jake. She didn't just leave, she forced him to face the fact he wasn't the victor he thought he was. He tried a smear campaign, spreading rumors everywhere, but it was just the desperate howl of a man sinking in quicksand. No one bought it anymore. The narcissist's collapse isn't just losing the super empath, it's losing the illusion of themselves. Their whole life is built on lies, on needing others to prop up their fragile ego. But when a super empath exits the stage, the curtain drops and the narcissist stands exposed like a clown in the spotlight. With Jake, people turned away once Maya wasn't there for him to blame. He had no supply, no audience, just a small, weak man clutching at the shards of a crumbled empire. Their reaction to being abandoned is a spectacle worth watching. They dive into a new relationship at lightning speed, scrambling for an easier target to fill the hole the super empath left. Jake did just that. Weeks after Maya walked, he was flaunting a new love online, but everyone could see it was a pitiful downgrade. The new person lacked Maya's fire, her strength, just a dim shadow ripe for control. And that only proved the super empath's triumph. They don't just survive, they force the narcissist to grovel for scraps from lesser souls. This final battle is where super empaths claim ultimate power. They don't need to roar or wave a flag. They win by existing, by shining brighter than ever, leaving narcissists to scream into the void. Maya didn't look back to bicker with Jake. She moved forward, stronger, while he dug himself deeper into his own abyss. This is the last word. You couldn't break me. I broke you. And as the narcissist falls, the super empath stands tall, unbeatable amid the wreckage. So what happens when they step off the battlefield? Get ready, because the next part is a victory anthem where super empaths don't just survive, they rise like an unquenchable flame from their enemy's ashes. The final battle is over, the narcissist lies broken in the ashes, while the super empath stands tall on a battlefield ablaze with triumph. But this isn't where the story ends, it's where the real journey begins, turning pain into glory. This isn't just about surviving the narcissist's darkness, it's about rebirth, where super empaths transform scars into medals and tears into an unquenchable flame. Let's dive into how they do it and how you can step out of suffering to shine brighter than ever. The super empath's healing starts with facing their pain head-on. They don't deny the wounds the narcissist left, they confront them, understand them, and use them as the bedrock for a new kind of strength. Famed psychologist Carl Gustav Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." For super empaths, every betrayal, every lie from the narcissist isn't the end. It's raw material to forge themselves anew, like steel tempered in fire. They choose not to be victims but warriors, and you can too. The first step to turning pain into glory is cutting the narcissist out of your life completely. It sounds simple, but it takes guts. Block their number, delete them from social media, and shut down all contact, not because you're weak, but because you deserve peace. Take Maya, who we've met before. After leaving Jake, she didn't give him a chance to drag her back into his chaos. She slammed the door and started healing. Psychologist Brené Brown says, "Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen." Cutting ties is your first act of showing up, not for the narcissist, but for yourself. Next, find a place to recharge, and nothing beats nature. Walk through a forest, sit by the ocean, or just watch a sunset. These moments reconnect you to yourself. Maya spent hours by a river after ditching Jake, letting the water wash away his toxic energy. Studies in psychology back this up. Nature reduces stress and boosts confidence. It's the medicine super empaths use to mend. Try spending at least 30 minutes a day outside. You'll be amazed at how much stronger you feel. Step by step. Even more, turn your story into inspiration. Super empaths don't just heal for themselves, they rise to empower others. Viktor Frankl, a psychologist who survived the Holocaust, wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Maya didn't just overcome Jake, she shared her journey with friends, helping them spot narcissists and break free. You can do this too. Journal your experience, tell your tale, or simply listen to someone in need. That's how you turn pain into a beacon of light. Finally, take time to love yourself, something the narcissist once stole. Treat yourself. A good meal, a great book, a day off. It's not selfish, it's how you rebuild self-worth. Maya learned to forgive herself for trusting Jake, and in doing so, she rediscovered a confidence she thought was gone. Brené Brown adds, "Owning our story is the bravest thing we'll ever do. When you love yourself, you don't just recover, you become your most radiant self, stronger than before the narcissist ever showed up." This journey isn't easy. There'll be days of doubt, days of exhaustion, but know this: every step is a win. Super empaths don't just survive pain, they turn it into glory by living true to themselves. So what will you do when you step into the light? The next part is the final call, where you don't just rise, but inspire the world with a strength no narcissist could ever extinguish. We've journeyed through the super empath's extraordinary saga, from the dark days under the narcissist's heel, through the blazing fire of their counterattack, to the dazzling glory of turning pain into unbreakable strength. But this isn't just their story, it's a call to you, the resilient souls listening. You're not just a survivor, you're a super empath. A beacon blazing through the storm that no narcissist can ever snuff out. Rise up today, not to prove anything to the narcissist, but to declare to the world that you are unstoppable. Your power isn't in defeating them, it's in living boldly, fully, so every step you take proves they couldn't destroy you. Maya did it. She didn't just break free from Jake, she built a life that left him staring in regret. You can too. Turn your pain into fuel, let every day be a resounding victory shout. Your story is a flame of inspiration, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, whether through a post, a conversation, or a quiet look of encouragement to someone who needs it. The world needs super empaths like you, people who transform darkness into light, wounds into hope. Let your story be the spark that guides others out of the narcissist's grip, showing them that glory isn't just a destination, it's the journey you choose every single day. Now's the time to act. Hit that like button if you feel that fire inside, subscribe to join me in this fight against the shadows, and tell me your story in the comments. Who's the narcissist you faced? How did you strike back? I want to hear it all, because every word you share is a brick in the wall of a community of unbreakable spirits. Together, let's rise, let's shine, and let's make this world a place where narcissists have nowhere left to hide.